Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Griefdrums, and today I'm listening to you guys. We're going back and we're taking another look at Outback. So it's 5 minutes past 6 in the morning. I am absolutely exhausted, but I've woken up ridiculously early to try and fit this in because my schedule at the minute is just absolutely manic. For those that don't know, I work full-time in the military, so to try and fit all of this in as well is sometimes a bit of a nightmare. I've been working on a few tips and tricks videos, and I saw a few of your comments where you said, you know, when's part 2 of Outback coming? And you know what? You guys are absolutely right. We needed to do a part 2. So I'm running on 4 hours sleep. So if this is a little bit sporadic, I can only apologize. For those that aren't aware, if you don't already know, I stream over on Twitch on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 8 p.m. BST, and I would love to see you guys over there. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So in the previous video, I discussed that Outback is split into 3 sections pretty much. There's sort of like 3 areas of the map, with all of it focusing around the bull area. The bull is sort of the central focal point of the map that is quite a bit of a choke point and forces a lot of people to move through this area. From there, you've got obviously the laundry and the game side of things, and then you've got the party room, the office and electrical and all this area just here, and then you've got the garage section. Now the garage itself can be a bit of a pain to sort of try and get hold of, and we're going to cover that in just a minute. But I think it's important to note just how much of this map is actually destructible, certainly vertically. Now, the biggest problem that most people face when it comes to actually attacking this side of the map is figuring out an entry point. How do you get into this side of the map? Now, there are a few different ways, but obviously we're going to take a look at the garage. Now, the garage is going to be an important part to get control of. It really is, because if someone's sitting around in here, pushing into the office, you're going to have to try and deal with them. And if they've got any sort of lines of sight or rotations open, there's going to be a clear line of sight. Even if they just open this, they're going to stop any rotations from happening into the party room itself. So, the garage is a real bone of contention. And this is where you kind of need to work as a team. There's no sort of question about it. If you've got a couple of people holding the garage from different angles, they can just stop people from jumping in. By playing inside of the lockers, they can quite easily hold that window. From there, that means that someone can sit over in this area and they can hold sort of this window. They can control the stairs coming up. So you need to get these people out of here. I tend to find that coming in through the motel reception seems to be one of the best ways to do this, because you can actually shoot up into these areas. You can go ahead and put grenades up there. You can go ahead and use capital fire arrows. You know, all sorts of different utility to move these people out. Unfortunately, the way this map works, it's going to be straight up gunfights or it's going to be grenades. That's pretty much all you can do. Now, by coming down into the waiting room, you can actually go ahead and lob grenades up into the area that the lockers are in. As you will have seen, that's just hit up in here. This is the locker area, and that's an area that's used to pretty much deny the window on the east side. Players can quite easily sit in here, and as long as no one's pushing them on the stairs, they've just got to wait for you to vault in. And once you do, you're then fully exposed to being shot. As an attacker, I have shared this in a previous video, in a tips and tricks video. One thing you can do is by rappelling up onto this window and coming to the top, you can look over the top of the vending machine, and you can look all the way to the party door. You can actually look to the wall that I breached open a second ago, and you can look into party itself, and you can also see all of the electrical door it's just next to there. One thing that does tend to happen with the electrical room is you will quite often get people playing just inside of the actual office supplies and trying to contest the window. What you can do is by going downstairs into the, just next to the convenience store. I can't remember the name of it. Let's go have a look. The gear store, that's the one. You'll see that I've created a hole just here. The entirety of the office supplies next to electrical is actually destructible. So a common grenade that you can actually throw is right to this point here, just above the fan. And it's just a case of cooking it, waiting for it to be ready to blow up, and then go ahead and chuck it up there. So the biggest thing to do in order to figure out where exactly you want to open to use vertical play, we first need to know where the defenders are likely to be playing. That's probably going to be the easiest starting point, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upstairs, we're going to have a look in the party room, and we're going to stand in there and figure out where the most common spots are for defenders to be. Now, when it comes to party room, I have seen shields chucked down just here. This can obviously pretty much stop people once they go ahead and open up the games room wall. They'll try and get a line of sight all the way down to electrical, and I personally don't really play this very often, just because there is a drone hole just above you in which grenades can come down through, which I'm going to go ahead and showcase in just a second. Now, obviously, Buck hasn't got grenades, but you get the point. So having someone playing around here on a shield allows them to contest electrical, it allows them to contest games should the wall get opened, and alternatively, if you put the shield a bit further forward, they can actually sort of contest this way coming up from the shark. So in order to move them out, we need to figure out exactly where to open, and luckily this is quite easily signposted by just coming into this area here of the restaurant by the restaurant lobby entrance, and all of this roof is actually destructible. So you can go ahead and open that up. And should you need to, if you're trying to assist people in getting in to electrical itself, you can go ahead and put flashbangs or grenades up, and they're going to land inside of here. Now, as you'll no doubt be aware, all of this is obviously a soft floor. Even the middle of the room, this section here is still soft. It overlooks the restaurant itself. Okay, so quick show of hands now. I'm going to go down to the comments. Who knew that from the party room itself, this room, that you can actually see the shark stairs? These ones, here. Just underneath the shark. And you can see where I am. So it stands to reason that I can see where that is. Now I'm going to go ahead and try and open this up a little bit more. It's easy with a shotgun. But by opening this up, you can see all the way through to there. If anyone's trying to push up the shark stairs, you can go ahead and ruin their day. Just a couple of well-placed shotgun shots will clear enough of this. I've obviously opened way too much of it. But it will clear enough of this that you can actually see the bottom of those stairs and contest anyone that is trying to go up them. Now, with us being able to see to the bottom of the shark stairs from the party room, it then stands to reason that the line of sight goes the opposite way, and you can actually look up into the office. Now, that is the doorway that leads into the office, and as you'll see, the light here is pretty much in line with the metal cabinets. Now, if you come in here and you vault up onto this sort of counter, you can actually stand over here and you can look all the way into the office. I'm going to put a load of rounds in there. I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you exactly where we're looking. But looking at common spots, you may very well see someone hunkering down here, like an Echo or a Maestro, Valkyrie, you know, someone that's hanging around on cams. This is a spot that I have seen a lot of people. So we're going to go downstairs. We're going to open this section up. If you come downstairs to the restaurant just behind this counter, that metal box is directly above me. I find it's often easier to come to this side of the counter instead. And then if you just shotgun up into there, you can actually see exactly where that wall is. That's right where I was lying. And this can extend all the way down. Obviously, you can see that's the party wall. This is the entirety of the room. So when it comes to attacking the party room in the office, there are a couple of other common places that you tend to see people. You see people crouching down or hunkering around this area just here trying to contest the bull. And obviously all of this is destructible as well. I'm going to go ahead and put a single shot and then we'll go and showcase exactly where it is downstairs so you know what you're looking for. But just if you go into the compressor room, the compressor itself is pretty much the same shape and size as the office just above it. So if you think about that entirety of the floor as the office, you want to think about just general areas. The section I was talking about just then, behind the counter, is just here. You've got the door just over by these tires. And then just further over, there is a counter about halfway down in the room. Now above it, there is a drone hole that you can go ahead and drop drones or grenades down through. But this is another common place that people tend to hang around just to use this soft cover or this, you know, little bit of cover here. So by coming downstairs, opening that up, you may be able to get a few lucky picks. Now, the difficulty with office and party is that it's a lot less static than other sites. Certainly the laundry site is an extremely static area of the map, whereas it's uncommon that you're going to get people sitting around inside of office and everything too frequently. It's quite an active map. It's quite a, you know, a fluid area. But I would definitely advocate coming onto this map and bringing, you know, sledge with a shotgun, just tearing up the entirety of the floor and learning exactly what the lines of sight are and figuring out exactly where you want to be able to shoot through. If they've got a mirror window and they're set up just on here, you want to know exactly where this spot is. One thing that you might like to know is, as a defender, what you can do is there is a very, very quick and easy rotate from the top floor to the bottom floor. So if you are getting pinched out up here, you can actually come out of this window over the top of there and in through this door into the restaurant lobby. Now, if the doors have been opened and people are going in through that way, you know, you can quite literally jump over there and you can be back inside before you even get spotted, and then wreak absolute havoc from an area that no one is going to expect you, because there is no natural rotate here. I actually enjoy playing Compressor, and personally I play the Compressor site first. This is the first site that I go to, just to sort of catch people out, because they come in expecting you to go to the laundry room, and out of nowhere you've completely bamboozled them. Now, to hold the Compressor room, the convenience store is a pretty important area to hold. The best thing about this is the entirety of the roof is metal. There is no vertical gameplay at all for the attackers. So as a defender, you can quite easily sit inside of here and just contest the waiting room should you need to. Now, from there, what I like to do is I like to reinforce this wall, and I like to reinforce this wall if mirror is playing. Put a mirror window just on here so we've got a line of sight, and then just sit in here, hold the compressor doorway, which is just over there. Anyone that's coming out from the reception, you can hold the compressor, the garage stairs. You can hold the garage wall. You can hold the catwalk if you've got the mirror window. There's a lot of different things you can do from here, and it's very, very difficult for people to move you out, because the entirety, as I say, is, you know... Should you not have a mirror, another thing you can do is actually open up sections of this just with a shotgun. Just some nice lines of sight. You don't have to do the whole thing. You know, you just have to do a strip halfway across. And then you can play all the way back here in the convenience store behind the counter with an ACOG. You can just contest everything as people are coming in, and it's very, very difficult to move you out of here. Now, one of the things you can do to assist in actually controlling the compressor room, if you are deciding to play down here, is opening some lines of sight and extending the defense out into the actual kitchen itself. By coming through to here and utilizing a couple of reinforcements on these walls, and then placing castle barricades down at the opportune positions, you can actually control a bit more from the kitchen itself. Now, one thing I did want to showcase on this map, this is something that I showed off in a live stream recently, and people weren't aware of it, so I wanted to go ahead and do it again now. When it comes to the party room, when it comes to defending it, if you've got a mirror, you can bring a shotgun, you can open up the majority of the party room itself, and then by coming into the office and placing a mirror down at crouch level, as close over to the left as you can, you can actually see all the way down to the shark window. So that's the window over by the shark stairs. I'm going to go ahead and put a load of bullets down just so you can see exactly where we're looking. But you chuck someone like a Doc or a Rook on that with their ACOG, they're going to have an absolute field day. As you can see, the bullets are coming all the way down to here. Anyone that's trying to push this area, if they stray too far over, they're going to get absolutely destroyed. By coming down into the kitchen and moving over into this area just here, this sort of pantry area, if you put a nitro just up on the roof, the second someone vaults into the bull window, you can go ahead, detonate that, and you will have taken out anyone that was there. That's going to easily take out anyone that's vaulted inside of here. It's all just about having the intel to do it. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of food for thought. Hopefully it gives you some ideas of things that you can actually do in this map. There is a lot of vertical play. There's a lot of areas that you can open up. But I would advocate that you go away, you go into a custom game, you go into a terrorist hunt, whatever it is you're going to do, and just tear the whole map apart. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you stuck around till the end of the video, thank you very much for doing exactly that. Go ahead and chuck a Grief Nation down in the comments below. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe for all things Rainbow Six. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.